Welcome back, guys. I'm here in Tel Aviv with the one and only Sean Pero, the Druze MMA fighter that just had a great victory in Brazil where he was wearing, by the way, this shirt, he gave me that shirt.
Bring them home.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Where he took the Israeli flag and the Druze flag and showed so much respect and appreciation to Israel, to the people, asking for them to come back home, the kidnapped, and just a great guy. But before we start, there's something crazy I have to say. There was this idiot, this numbskull, that Piers Morgan, that was telling him that Israel has been destroyed, that Iran is winning, and he was telling him, have you seen Tel Aviv? Have you seen Haifa? Well, buddy, this is Tel Aviv. You know what's this?
This is a shawarma. Very tasty one also.
Exactly. So while you are in Iran hiding in the bunkers like cowards under the ground, here in Israel, Druze, Arab, Christian, Jews are walking in the street, eating shawarma, enjoying the beautiful weather. Yes, sometimes you manage to shoot a rocket or two and we'd run, we go to bomb shelters because Israel is a great country and it gives bomb shelters to its people. Not like you guys who give bomb shelters for weapons of mass destruction and arch terrorists. Basically Muslim Nazi-like Muslims that are just lunatics. So, without further ado, we're just gonna talk a little bit right now about how is life in Israel, in Tel Aviv, through the eyes of two Druze people. So, Sean, how's it going?
Well, it's going great, brother.
Yeah? All
yeah.
Right.
Enjoying Tel Aviv.
How is your day looking like right now after you won the victory in Brazil and you came back here?
Well, work all around. I come, I train, I coach, and I'm focused on keep doing my things. And while the Iranians are shooting rockets and trying to destroy everybody's days, we're still going forward, still moving, we're still working. So I'm happy.
Did the alarm ever catch you while you were in the training?
Yeah, a lot of times. The good thing is I'm training in a shelter already, so that's good.
So you can keep training while the alarm is going on?
Yeah, I can, but usually we go to another room, which is a more safe room, a bunker. But yeah, no problem. We're underground.
Wow, man, that's crazy. Let's find a place to eat the shawarma. We can talk about eating shawarma. Exactly. So, as you've been seeing, Iran has been launching, First of all, you need to understand, in Iran, there was a bunch of officers all waiting to press one button with about 1,000 ballistic missiles all aiming at Israel. And they were just waiting to press that button. But Israel was so smart that they tricked these officers and they gave them a phone call and they told them to go to another bunker. So they went there and then Israel launched and took them all together. And there was probably one guy waiting where the button. He's like, what should I do? No one is giving me a command. There's no one. They literally took the entire chain of command. And then while this was happening, Mossad just started popping out from everywhere and taking down these launchers, sabotaging the launchers, assassinating more nuclear scientists and all these generals. So for more than one day, Iran was unable to do anything, and their entire plan to rain 1,000 ballistic missiles in one go on Israel was foiled completely. They were able to shoot barrages of like 40, 50 missiles each time, sometimes like 1 or 2 at night. And now it's diluted. It's going down to I think last attack they shot only 3. It's like literally Israel is destroying, kicking their ass, and that is insane. And here, the people in Israel, as you can see, here, look, there's kids in the playground, 2 Druze guys walking with a shawarma.
Let's go.
Exactly, going around to eat some shawarma. But I want to focus a little bit on Sean because if you guys haven't seen, there was this crazy MMA fight that he had in Brazil, where he was part of the fighting nerds. That's these guys with the glasses.
The glasses, we're nerds like Israel is doing now to Iran. We know everything. We go with intelligence and no force, and That's what I did in the fight too.
Exactly. Don't mess with the nerds.
Don't mess with the nerds.
Why did they call themselves the fighting nerds? What's the reason?
Because first of all, they're fighters. Being a fighter is being courageous, is being strong, but they're also nerds. They are the good guys, the guys that learn everything about the fight game. They always trying to get better, and not by brute force, but by getting better technologies, better techniques, and improving themselves using their brain and not just their fists. And
think we can sit here and eat a shawarma.
Yeah, and you can no doubtably see their success in the UFC, being undefeated with crazy performances, one after the other. So the nerds are coming, and it's bully payback time.
Don't mess with the nerds. So, a question then. When you won that fight, like the moment that you won the fight, what went through your head?
First, what went to my head is I was very happy, and the second was let's bring that flag and raise it as high as I can.
Wow.
The Israeli Druze flag going there in Brazil, live on TV, spread big.
In front of the whole world.
In front of the whole world, and then Gian Silva, my good friend, a UFC superstar, holding it with me there, bring them home shirt. That was one of the best moments in my life.
That was crazy, because he's a big rock star. That guy, he's a Brazilian, is one of the most famous fighters right now, a rising star that, you know, might easily become a UFC champion. I've seen him fight, he's just a phenomenon. And he was in your corner, and he went inside you in the cage, and he wore the same shirt that you wore.
Yeah, exactly, brother.
And he's not Jewish.
No, he's just a friend of us, and he believes in the good side and the right side. And even when everybody around him could have or would have told him to not do that because it might hurt him, and hurt him probably, he still did it because he's loyal, and he's loyal to himself and loyal to his friends, and he knows what's the good side. Like Conor said, you know, Conor said when he saw Greta coming here and supporting.
Conor talked about Greta?
Yeah, and she was like, you know, speaking about how horrible we are. And he said, after what he's seen 7th of October, just when hell will freeze, he will support that thing. And Greta is coming here and support it blindly. She just made herself a joke of herself. And so a lot of good UFC fighters are honest and know what's the good side. I hope most of the woke world will see it too. It's not just the numbers. We are outnumbered. We are a small community around the world. But eventually, if you open your eyes, if you see the facts, we are the right side here. So.
Oh yeah, man, absolutely. I think here's an interesting thing. You see, Sean is a Druze, I'm a Druze. We both grew up in a Jewish country. And thanks to growing up in a Jewish country, you know, in democracy, he was able to follow his dream and to become an MMA fighter. I followed my dream. I was an officer in the army, I was in the special forces, and later on I've done so many things in my life that I feel so proud. And my family, my sisters, everyone, we really have the best life an Arab can ask for in the Middle East. That is a fact. You know where they have a terrible life? In Iran. And the free people of Iran have been kidnapped completely by a regime of lunatics, radical jihadists that think that they need to destroy Israel. That's where their heaven will come, their imam, the hidden imam, their messiah will come. That would be the day that, you know, they will see the end of the world as Islam was supposed to. Literally, they have a religious reason to come and kill all the Jews, and they're oppressing their own people. Look at women in Israel, how they're living, and look at women there. And it's so clear-cut who are the good guys and who are the bad guys. Now, you grew up in Tel Aviv, right?
Right, around Tel Aviv. Yeah.
Around Tel Aviv. How was it growing here as a kid? Like, did you feel like you can't be friend with Jewish people? Did you feel like it's an apartheid?
No, never. I felt I felt like it was heaven, actually. It was the best world to live in. I was going out with my friends when I was young, going to the parks, to the forest, you know, enjoying sometimes Yom Kippur, going with everybody on the bike and driving all day when there is no cars, and doing a lot of stuff with everybody. And even though I was different, it was no different to them. Everybody was. The first thing we learned at school was to share love and to be good to your friends and to your surroundings. And that's what I go with since I was a child until now. Mm-hmm. And I believe that's what I got from everybody around me. Jewish, Christian, and other Jews, Muslims, doesn't matter. People also think that Muslims are hating Jews. I don't think that's the right thing. Yeah, sometimes Muslims don't choose their voice because they're part of the Muslim world. But I know a lot of Muslims that would not change Israel for anything, because this is the best country to live in for
Yeah.
everybody. And it's hard for us to see it because, like I said, a lot of times we are not Switzerland. It's not like we are around us like peaceful friends. We are full of enemies around us. We are just a small sprinkle in this dark forest, and we are managing to still have values and be good people while being surrounded by all that evil.
By these savages. Yeah, by these savages. Now, back to your fight. I just find it so fascinating. Why did you choose to bring a shirt that says "Bring them home" into your UFC fight, into your victory? Why did you feel that this was the message that you want to say? Because once you won the fight, I remember you got the mic. Can you tell us what you said there?
I said that this was for them. This was for the hostages. This was for all the soldiers fighting our war there in Gaza, now in Iran or anywhere around the world. This is for you guys. I'm following my dream. I'm doing a small thing, but you guys, you are the real champions. And the hostages, to think what did they do to be there, to be kidnapped from their families. Why fathers cannot see their children, why children cannot see their mothers, why, and because of living, because of being in the wrong place in the wrong time, and the ways they were kidnapped also. A lot of them don't know what's happening with the outside world, and it's just like they don't know what's happening right now so much. So, and I would like them to be as soon as possible back home and start really repairing them and start the recovery process. This is the most important thing for me. Now we have Iran, which is a very important deal for everybody, because if the head of the snake falls, probably the Middle East will look different. But other than that, the hostages need to be back as soon as possible, and this is something that is important for me.
Yeah, that's crazy. There's probably hostages that don't know. That's not an alarm. That's just a scooter. Don't panic, guys. Don't panic. So there's a lot of hostages. Only when they got released, that's when they heard that their family was okay. So some of them might be there and have no clue what happened. They're hearing all the information from Hamas, who's controlling. They might be telling them all kind of lies, that Israel is destroyed, that Iran is winning. As you can see. Yeah. In Israel, Iran, you guys suck. You guys suck. You guys have no idea how to fight. Literally, you got humiliated so badly. In less than a day, in 4 hours. In 4 hours, Israel won the war against Iran, and they're starting to go on the run. And the funny part is, there's a lot of videos surfacing right now showing Iranian police chasing Mossad agents in the street and arresting them. What actually happening is they're chasing their own people. They've always been doing that. Many times they accuse falsely their own people and then they chase them. Do you think that a Mossad agent is going to get caught so easily while Israel maintain air superiority, special forces on the ground? Do you think a police will even dare come close to these Mossad agents? The Iranians, they run away when they see the Mossad or when they hear the Mossad. They run to the bunkers hiding like cowards. That's what they do. But what do? They go and they show their strength on women, on children, on elderly people, and once in a while they just throw some kind of stunt to the media. Yeah, we caught a Mossad agent, while they're just still torturing their own people. A bunch of radical cowards. But without further ado, I'm gonna eat my shawarma.
Let's eat the shawarma.
Let's rate the shawarma in Tel Aviv. That's falafel, by the way. So, just to support all these idiots that think that Israel is losing and that we're suffering here, we're gonna eat a really good shawarma.
Really good shawarma.
From the Qasim.
Go check them out.
Check them out. We're gonna rate it. You know what? Let's be honest though. We're both Druze, and we have a different standard for shawarma than Ashkenazim. Okay? With all due respect to the Ashkenazi people and Europeans, I think we have different level of shawarma understanding in our villages. So let's rate it.
Well, it is a good shawarma in my eyes.
Okay.
I like everything about it, but maybe I became a very Ashkenazi guy after all this time around the world, not eating shawarmas and being in Tel Aviv. But a very good shawarma, and I love a lot of tahini on my shawarma, so you know, enjoy that.
I'll give this one. Let's rate it by the Ashko shawarma rating.
Okay.
From 1 to 5. 1 is like terrible. 3 is legit. You know, middle. 2.5.
Okay.
5 is like really good.
Okay.
What do
It's
you
a
give it?
4.
4.
Yeah, it's a good one. How would you rate that?
I'll give it 3, 3.5. I'll say though.
Okay.
Usually this place does a 4, sometimes even 4.5. It's a good place. But I feel like today maybe 3.5.
4.
4. Still good. Still good.
If I get food and it's tasty, then it's the best.
So when are you going back to the boot camp, the summer camp? Not summer camp.
Summer camp, not a summer camp.
It's not a summer camp.
training camp. I will be
Training
back.
camp with the biggest savages in the planet that are beating up each
Yeah.
other every day. It's not a summer camp.
Yeah, so I'll be there probably around August, preparing for my next fight. And yeah, I'm getting ready to kick ass there.
How long are you going to be in the summer camp?
Probably around until
Summer
around
camp.
December.
Boot camp?
Yeah, training camp.
Training
So,
camp?
Yeah, so around December probably. I need to see if I can get 2 fights until the end of the year. If not, then 1 fight, but one good one. And big things coming up. Let's finish this year strong. Keep being around those guys, which are savages, like you said, and learn as much as I can before making my next step in my career.
What do you have to say about that very, very annoying fight that we saw this Irish guy that won against an Israeli guy, and then he went and said Free Palestine, and then, you know, his Instagram just exploded.
Well, I don't know if he did it like mindfully or just by mistake, but this guy just won the lottery, you know, and that was my fear, that a lot of guys will do it right now. I don't know what he knows, what his agenda. I probably thinks he did it already for the likes and for the trendiness of it. And he won big time on that. And, you know, he did a very, very bad fight in my eyes. It will be a disgrace if we see him in the UFC, in my eyes. I don't think he's a UFC level fighter. I think he's a very boring fighter. I think Shuki, the Israeli guy, gave him, you know, the best fight he could get. He should have kissed Shuki's feet for giving him a fight on two weeks' notice. You know, Shuki just having like 2 fights, 3 fights. This guy have almost 10 fights, a lot of big amateur career, and just came out of the Ultimate Fighter, the UFC Ultimate Fighter. And, you know, he was not good, but he was smart for social media, I would say. So
Yeah. And when he did, 1 second, guys, I gotta show you something. I'm gonna do it slowly. I have a friend here. Came for the shawarma.
he's shy.
He's a bit shy, camera shy. But he was trying to eat my shawarma. I don't know. Should I give him? I don't know. I guess. All the animal lovers don't hate me.
Give him the lafa. I think he wants the lafa.
Yeah, we like that.
You like shawarma?
I guess so. Birds in Israel like shawarma.
He's
No.
a predator.
Yeah, that's true. It's a bit spicy. I don't know. You might hate me after that, but plenty of water here. So, it's a very interesting phenomena that we see it happening not only with MMA fighters, also a lot of morally bankrupt, intellectual, you know, half-baked potatoes, that they realize that if they show some kind of support towards the radical Islam or hate towards the Jews, their social media accounts are gonna explode. Like that fighter, I think had how many followers he had before the fight?
10,000 maybe, less, yeah, more or less.
And then after the fight, how much did you have?
I didn't check, but around 120,000 followers. 100, yeah,
Yeah.
estimated, yeah.
Yeah, 120,000. But that
Wow.
shows you the difference. Like, how many followers did you have before the fight?
Around 8,000.
And then when you won the fight and you went and showed full-on support to Israel,
Yeah. Now I'm standing around 9,000, but you know, it's
So you
not
want-
just this moment. It's not what was one day after my fight, 1 hour after my fight. He immediately, the day after, he exploded 100,000 followers.
so an Israeli fighter, a Druze fighter, wins a fight, maybe gets 500 followers extra.
He gets but a lot of comments, you know, a lot of comments and messages from all the Palestinians around the world. They have thousands of messages, which is crazy. Until now I'm getting from all kinds of people around the world, sending me a lot of bullshit.
Hate and threats.
Just hate and threat. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Not so much, but like keep fighting your own war in my comments. I don't care.
Yeah.
I hope my algorithm love it, but I think he doesn't care. It just brings me more hate. But okay.
I've seen you a few times when you came into my feed and started fighting all kind of idiots that are writing stuff on my feed. I'm like, Sean is fighting them.
When I can, when I need, when I see it's not a bot or it's worth it, I will say my word. Especially if it's somebody with a little bit of a head over his shoulders, not just a stupid 16-year-old kid. But yeah.
So here's a question though. So, a pro-Palestinian influencer, fighter, TV figure will show his hate to the Jews, support the radical Islam, jihadist terrorist. His account will blow.
Yeah.
So many morally bankrupt people, like I said, half-baked potatoes intellectuals, will do that just for the likes. But the Israelis, anyone who's pro-Israel, is risking, if at all, to lose followers, to be cancelled, to get threats, and etc. And it's a very, very sad reality we're living right now with social media that have become a feeding ground for racist bullyism. Racist jihadists all around the world can use social media to bully the minorities. And I can tell you one thing for sure. The minorities are the Druze and the Jews. They're not the majority.
Big minority.
Big minority. Like the Jews are minority and the Druze are even tiny minority. So, and it's two brave groups of people that are literally trying to live in peace. And they got each other's backs. And like I said, in my last video that I think I posted on Instagram, there's so many Druze in Lebanon, in Syria, in Israel, personal friends that I know, that keep calling me and telling me, tell the Jewish people in Israel that I'm standing with them. They're not alone. Some of them even call me. We're doing some of the lives that I do from the Bunker Diary show. I'm doing like a live whenever I go to the bunker. And they call and they say, I just seen the rockets flying over Syria. We pray for you guys. Take care, stay safe. So they're giving us like real life information. What's happening? That's crazy.
Very crazy. And it's crazy for me that all the Jews around Israel, Syria, Lebanon, Jordan that I hear about shows a lot of support for us. But the Jews that I see outside of Israel, American Jews and stuff like that, not that I know a lot, they're anti-Israel a lot of times. So it just tells you that it's kind of this YouTube algorithm to some extent. I don't know, but today this stuff brings like hate and everything, brings a lot of likes, brings a lot of views, and people use it, and it's just like getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So
Yeah.
the hate is just getting bigger, and I hope that when the job with Iran is finished, then everything will go back to normal, and the good guys will be known as us, and the world will see it also, and they just move to the next subject, which might be the Muslims in Europe, but let's wait with the
Yeah.
next chapter.
Next chapter of these radicals. But that's quite insane. I think the Druze that are anti-Israel are mostly coming from Lebanon.
Yeah,
They're like-
Hezbollah.
Yeah, they got like brainwashed by Hezbollah for a very long time, and by Jumblat and these other idiots there.
Yeah.
That's the one that I feel. But the ones from Syria are very much, they know. They know. Actually, the ones from Syria, the reason they hate so much the Assad regime, they hate the jihadists so much, they hate Iran so much. Many Syrians, by the way, they hate Iran. When there were forces right now,
Iranians hate the Iranian regime.
Iranians
so-
hate the Iranian regime. Everybody hates them except from woke college students in the US and ISIS, maybe.
They have
Like,
good YouTube videos to show them, to teach them why the Iranians are so good, why
It's
why
insane.
Hamas is just a resistance group that wants freedom, like finding the One Piece or pirates, I don't know, like
It's insane. There is Arab nations all around the Middle East that hate the Iranian regime. The Iranian people hate the Iranian regime. The Syrian people hate the Iranian regime. But then you have weirdos in UK and in Europe and in the US that love the Iranian regime, while the Iranian regime keeps saying death to America, death to England, death to the Jews, death to Israel, and saying they want to build a nuclear bomb and bomb Israel. Here's something important, actually. I've been hearing it quite a lot. There's a lot of people now showing videos of Bibi Netanyahu. Hello from the UK. Showing videos of Bibi Netanyahu that he was saying, 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, that Iran is about to build a nuclear weapon. It's so close. It's years from now, months from now, weeks from now. And they're using that as if to show that this is all conspiracy, propaganda, and I don't know what. And people are jumping on that. Now, let me just say something very clear that help people understand. You see, Iran have came close to building a nuclear weapon several times, and they were pushed back, by who? By Israel. What do you think the Mossad has been doing all this time? By going around and taking down their scientists, taking down their commanders, infiltrating their systems by cyber, by different kind of equipment, raiding their nuclear sites and taking all the plans, creating a Mossad hunting unit inside Iran that was run by the Mossad. Israel has been holding the door, Israel has been pushing away this nuclear program for so long. If it wasn't for Israel, they would have probably had a nuclear weapon 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 month ago.
And imagine it can be any one of those ballistic missiles holding a nuclear head.
Yeah.
And imagine that you don't know which one of those. They send 100 ballistic missiles. One of them is a nuclear head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go.
So what do you want? You want Israel to wait until there's a nuclear missile that is in the atmosphere right now coming to land on Haifa or Tel Aviv, and then we should react? So that's why having these people around the world are saying that, Israel is not justified attacking Iran is probably the dumbest, most self-destructive thing someone in the West can say. If Iran is right now the main sponsor of terrorism, of jihadist racism in the globe, in Europe, in the US, in the Middle East, there's a reason why everybody hates the Middle East. Syria, when they were running, by the way, with their tens of thousands of jihadist soldiers from Iran and from Iraq, they were coming to the border with Syria so they can enter, and they wanted to attack Israel. The Jolani forces of Syria, which is not a friend of Israel, send his military to go and meet them because they hate them so much. Because Iran was part of the oppression of Syria as well. Only thing is that they crushed the Jolani forces because they're all, kind of dumb jihadists, let's be honest, and former ISIS members and just a bunch of perverts. So when they got there, they got completely abolished, and these guys managed to cross. And right now, the only one that is holding them from reaching Israel is the Druze mountain. And if they come and they manage to take down the Druze mountain or, build stations there, they will have missile range into Israel. And they will have many, tens of thousands of fighters. Iran was holding Hezbollah and Hamas and the Houthis as an insurance policy against Israel. That was their whole idea. If Israel tried to mess with our nuclear capability because we want to destroy planet Earth, we can threaten them with Hezbollah that is ready to jump on them, with Hamas, with the Houthis. Israel went and just miraculously crazy operation, dismantled Hezbollah, they're crippling the Houthis, they're crushing Hamas, and now Iran have almost no one, so they have these still militias that are just kind of scattered, that are threatening, if our back is to the wall, we just run into Israel. We're talking about tens of thousands, if not even more, of medium trained, I would say, jihadists. They're not, professional army. They're not like, obviously not like the Israeli or American army, but they're more trained than the average, jihadist. And they have the equipment. So that's kind of the crazy that is happening there, but, I don't know. But anyway, we talked enough about that. So back to your MMA advocacy for Israel. Have you got any heat from other fighters, for standing for Israel or?
In Brazil, I never had a moment like that. In Vegas, I had a few times when I met some Dagestani fighters and Muslim fighters. Not all of them. A lot of them were very respectful, even when I said Israel. But some of them, again, it's the brainwashed youngsters. Most of the times, had some problems with where I come from, and I didn't like that. But I didn't get so much hate when I was in Brazil. I think Brazil loves us, the fighting nerds love us, and yeah, that's how I feel.
Wow, that's amazing, man. So, when is your next fight?
I hope around October, November, I get to camp straight up looking for a fight. And in this game, you need to wait for something to get in the net. For a fight to be accepted. And once it is on, I will let everyone know, and let's get another win, and hopefully 2 more wins before I get back to Israel next time.
And you know what? I want to say something because this guy is very humble and he's probably not going to say it, but every athlete, especially the ones in the fighting industry, MMA, and other sports actually, when they climb their way up, they're many times doing it on their own expense. He's coming to Israel right now. He's working his Tusik, doing training camps, running around, interviews, to be able to sponsor their next fight. So if you know people that want to sponsor a good cause that is bringing good advocacy for Israel and also helping, Israeli athletes to go and pursue their dream and win, there's so many win-win here. If one of these guys end up getting into the main stage, he can use his voice to amplify for good reason, but also it's a beautiful thing when you see athletes from your country winning. I think that's a very patriotic thing. So if anyone want to find, a way to sponsor them, you can contact Sean or any of his friends. He have quite a lot of friends that I started following. Some of them from Thailand, I think, these cool guys.
Which ones?
Or from the Philippines. Where are they? These 2 brothers or the family of fighters from Asia?
No, they're Israelis, brother.
Yeah, but they have originally from?
Their father is from America. Their mother, I don't want to do a mistake, but either from Thailand or the Philippines or anything like that. So yeah.
So they're Israelis, half Asian, half Israeli Americans. They're like kicking ass, like kickboxing champions.
They're a family of gangsters. That's how I would call them. There is Kiberi Gordon, which is my friend, an MMA fighter on the rise, trying to get to the UFC this year already. You have Ruach Gordon, Payu Gordon, which is kicking ass in Thailand on the biggest stages in the world, winning non-stop. And you have Avat Hashem Gordon, Avsha, which is the youngest one of them. All one family, fighting one championship and kicking ass there, world champion in kickboxing. And all of them are like young killers, and I love all of them, and all of them are representing us well. So that's family. The Gordon family, we will have documentaries on this family, so go check them out already.
So how many fighters are in the Gordon family?
3 that are now active. There are
3
a few more that was before.
Wow. And do they have any girls in the family?
They have, yeah.
And they're fighting also, or no?
They're doing some circus and stuff like that. They're all athletes, but
all athletes. So if anyone mess with one of these sisters, he's like in real big trouble.
I saw them sending a few messages for the partners in the circus of their sister, but
wow, man, that's crazy.
But they are nice kids.
No, I've been following them as well, and there's quite a lot of rising Israeli athletes right now that are going to the MMA and dream to the UFC. If anyone doesn't know, the UFC is probably one of the biggest sports on planet Earth right now. And I think it'll be amazing if we can have more and more athletes that can come and bring, not just being a role model like Sean here, but also bring the voice that they bring with them. You told me last time when we were talking that one of the reasons that you're, so passionate about standing for Israel and using your platform is because a lot of your friends right now are in the army, correct?
Yeah.
Were they also involved in October 7?
My friends, a lot of them were also involved in October 7th. Some of them were in the Nova itself. Some of them were in the kibbutzim around. Some of them were just heading straight to the south when they heard what's happening and that the country's not moving, and just took their weapons and tried to help as much as they can. And since then, in the Miluim, just like they're non-stop there in Gaza and the Palestinian territories like in Ayosh on the Lebanon border. So the Israeli friends and the Israeli people are very deep in the army. So the only thing I can do is like just be there for them on the world platform, because they are the true fighters, and I salute them.
Amen, brother. Amen. All right. Well, Sean, do you have anything else that you want to say to the camera, to the viewers back home? We are live from Tel Aviv right now, like I said, showing the Iranian pricks that life in Israel.
Show them.
Look at that. The mall is open. We're eating shawarma. There's Walt running.
Shawarma market, beautiful as ever.
I don't think Khomeini can order Walt right now. I wonder what Khomeini is eating, and all of these generals that are still alive running in the hide in
There's
their
some-
own country.
Yeah, some good Iranian food.
Good Iranian food
But-
in their own country, running away and hiding either from the Mossad, from the Air Force, from the Special Forces, or from their own people who are really looking for blood. You know, it's insane. And then they dare to come and say that we're losing. I mean, get a life, you bunch of idiots. So anyway, sorry. Is there anything that you'd like to say before
Well,
we finish?
because of the platform, I would love to say that for everybody here, we are together. We are both Druze, and we are the Druze. We are together here with our Jewish brothers and sisters. We are under the same roof, the same, how you call it, the same,
Same boat.
איך קוראים למיירט הזה, נו?
Ah, same Iron Dome.
The same Iron Dome, the same roof, and we have the same enemies, and we will always fight together, side by side. That's how it always have been, and we will win. And I assure you that I will show our spirit on the biggest stage, and my brothers and sisters are showing our spirit right there on the battlefield. And right now, we here, the civilians, are showing our spirit here in the country. And don't worry about us. We are doing good. Like he said, Israel is standing here very well. It's not destroyed like anybody wants to say around the world. And soon we will have good news, and soon we will win, and the Middle East will change for the good for once and for all.
Amen. I saw some comments of people saying you're welcome to come to Yarka. And someone here said, where was I on October 7? I was actually just on a ship sailing from Alaska to Hawaii. And just when I got off in Hawaii and was going to grab a plane to Texas, basically I got to Texas, and that's when I woke up and I saw October 7 happening. So I was pretty much on the other side of the planet when that happened. But that's one of these days that catches you. It catches everyone here in a different place, different time in life. But the most important thing is that we are still here together, standing strong, and Israel is reshaping the Middle East, and I hope that we will have better days to come ahead of us. So, I'm Israel Chai, just gonna read a few comments right now. Sorry, in this video sometimes I miss the comments, so if anyone have an interesting question for Sean, bring it on now, or forever hold your breath. Any sponsors for return to Germany? Someone said that he might be able to help me if I find a flight or a yacht. I haven't found a flight or a yacht yet. So to those of you who are wondering, I am here in Israel. I don't want to use the word stuck because it's my home and I love being here. But my kid is having his graduation party from the kindergarten in the forest, and I need to get there, and it should be done. I should be there before the 26th.
I hope. Amen.
Amen. Because we're gonna sleep together in the forest, and do some camping, and then wake up in the morning and do beautiful. Where is Batya? Batya is home right now. Cruise ship to Cyprus are okay right now. I don't know. They had a cruise ship with people that are going with the birthright, but they left before telling me. Greta is going to help Mansour. Yeah, Greta should sail here now and take me with her. Do one thing good with herself at numbskull. Without border is an obstacle. Don't you think it's moral duty? I didn't finish reading that. Story, do you like our beautiful? Oh, is this okay? All right. Well, guys, we lost the channel to Batya. Yeah. Batya is the goat. Batya is the goat. I told her already. She needs to come back to my channel, start singing, maybe doing some asbara while singing. But anyway, guys, we're gonna finish eating our shawarma right now and enjoy Tel Aviv. Stay safe, don't do anything stupid, and follow Sean. You can follow him on Instagram. You have his YouTube where he's breaking down MMA fights, UFC fights, and in general, go look for Israeli athletes all around the world that needs our help and support. And the support could be by following them, by amplifying their voice, by sending them messages of support and love, or by financially supporting them and sponsoring them. Because I'm telling you, it's a very rough sport and it takes a lot until you get to the top. And people sometimes need to have several jobs while they're training, etc. So every help or every friend that you know that want to find a way to help, I would strongly recommend and promote that. I'm a big advocate of this guy, and I can't wait to see him fight in his next fights. What's Sean's YouTube?
Sean Peru. Just as you say my name, you write it there and go follow. I will have a lot of new content soon. I have content coming from my last fight. Really, we did a documentary of almost every part of it. So go check it out. And me and Mansour are gonna do a lot of more interviews and lives together, I hope.
Oh yeah. 100%. And you should come to Germany and start training Rafi.
I want.
Start training so you can go and kick ass. And then the
go.
teachers are gonna call me in the school and tell me that my kid is fighting, and they're probably gonna get angry with me. But anyway, God bless, guys. Stay safe. Don't think stupid, and see you next time.